Hey, everybody, this is Josh McKinney, and I just want to welcome you to episode 76 of the I Suck at Jiu Jitsu show.
You know, you could usually like I
Today, we are going to cover the biggest lie in Jiu Jitsu. So, before I get into the biggest lie in Jiu Jitsu and what that is, what it looks like, just wanted to tell you guys thank you for whatever one of you guys shares the show. Not one of you guys, whomever, I don't know. Whoever shares the show, thank you guys. Our numbers have went up substantially in the last maybe 2 months, and it's really cool to see. It's really cool to get to know that people are listening and getting enjoyment out of the show, getting enjoyment out of what we do at Simplifying Jiu-Jitsu. I love seeing that those numbers are going up. I don't make any money from the podcast. I don't know if you guys realize that or not. I make $0. I've made a combined $0 from the podcast in 76 episodes. And it does not bother me in any way. It's something I really enjoy doing. In the future, I probably will. But it's really cool just seeing what the podcast is. One of my big goals was to put out 100 episodes before I ever focused on trying to make any money from the podcast. And that's something that I think is going to be very achievable. We only have 24 episodes left if you don't include this one. And so just thank you guys. It's really cool that you guys have been sharing stuff, that you guys have been following stuff for the show and getting something out of it. You guys wouldn't be continuing to listen if you weren't getting something out of it, I assume. So now let's get into the episode. The episode is, what is the biggest lie in Jiu-Jitsu? Okay, so this is just my opinion, obviously, like everything on the show is. And every time I come on the show, everything that I say comes off very matter of fact, even though it is opinion. Okay. I'm going to say it like it's fact because it would be annoying if the whole time I was like, in my opinion, it's this. No, but it is always in my opinion, just so you know. You can always add that to the beginning of any sentence that I say on the show. But let's get into it. So the biggest lie, in my opinion, is that you win or you learn. I cannot stress enough how ignorant it is to believe that. And I know that people will be offended that I said that because their coach told them you win or you learn. You know, their coach on his deathbed said, you either win or you learn. Are you spitting on my coach's grave? No, I'm not. But your coach was wrong. You don't either win or you learn. That is the way that a child looks at something, that it is one or the other. It really isn't. There are a lot of degrees. There are a lot of ways that you can lose and not learn. It's very easy. And then it's important to note that you can also win and learn. It's just the mindset that you go into. It's the mindset that you use when you are training jiu-jitsu. So what that means, what I'm trying to say here, is you don't just lose and then automatically become better. We all know this. We've been training long enough. We've all had things that we lose to repeatedly and we don't learn from for a very long time. So it's important to note every time you lose, you have an opportunity to learn. So I guess a better statement, a truth, would be you either win or then you have the opportunity to learn. You don't always learn from losing, though. It's very easy. I've talked about this on the show before. It's very easy to go into a tournament and lose and then say, well, the ref screwed me over. I should have gotten 2 points and I didn't. And then guess what happens? You don't learn from that because you made an excuse. You go into the gym and somebody beats you. And the first thing you think is, well, how old is this guy? What does this guy weigh? How long you wrestled before? You got some wrestling experience, man? If you do that, you are making excuses. Even if you're not saying, oh, you beat me because of that, when you ask those questions, that is what it is. Unless you are asking a technical question, what did you do to me there? Why did that work? What could I have done to stop it? Then you are making an excuse and you're not learning. So, excuses really are one of the biggest enemies of learning. It's just very important for us to be able to go in with the right mindset and to be able to learn. So, some things that will help you guys get out of the win or learn lie is to first acknowledge that you can win and learn. Okay. So, how we win and learn. Just because we win does not mean things are perfect. One of the biggest things that I note when I win is how much energy did I use? Just we talk about it in jiu-jitsu all the time. It's pacing, being able to control the pace of the match, not having to waste energy. What this is truly technique. When you are doing things and you're not having to use muscle, you're not having to use strength, you're just using weight and timing. That is what technique is. And so I can win and have gassed myself out, really, really wasted a ton of energy. And then I can look back and say, what could I have done to not wear myself out so much? How could I have been more efficient? How could I have been more effective? Where did I go wrong? Where did I lose control of the match? Sometimes it's very easy when the pace of the match turns into aggressive or turns really hard. It's hard to lower ourselves, lower our pace again. Meaning, if you fight really hard on a sweep and you get it, then your mind goes into time to fight mode, time to pohada, and then you go really hard the rest of the round. It's good to learn to control yourself. It's good to learn to say, okay, that was really hard. Now let's reset, get back to a position that I know, and go back to being technical. And so that is your way of winning and still learning. Now, let's look at the other side. How do you lose and learn? It's a lot easier, in my opinion, if you just don't make excuses to learn from losses. Every time something happens, you just can say, why did that happen? What could I have done to do better? You can ask your coach. You can ask, there's tons of people now on social media that are putting out different videos and answer people's questions. And so you can just ask them and they'll probably put out videos, myself included. So if you're ever running into that problem, you can lose and then learn. Now, it's very hard to lose and learn without focus. Meaning, if I am just going to roll with you and my mindset is I'm just going to do whatever. I'm just here, I'm looking for a submission. And then my guard gets passed, I get side control, I can't defend, you mount me, I roll over, you take my back and you submit me. A lot of stuff happened there. Didn't have a focus. I didn't have a primary goal besides submit you. So it's hard to ask those questions. It's hard to say, where did I go wrong? Because I really went wrong in the very beginning without having a focus. Now, if my mindset is I'm going to try to get him in spider guard and I lay down, or I'm going to try to do a spider guard sweep to him, and we start the round and I get the sleeve grips, and then my feet never touch you. You run around, you get to side control, you mount me, you take my back, you submit me. Now I have the ability to say, hey, why couldn't I get my feet on him? Why couldn't I get my feet to his hips first or get my feet to his biceps? Was it that he had control of my pant legs? Was it that he was too far away from me? So you can ask yourself questions if you have a focus. Okay. So that is kind of how we would combat what I would consider the biggest lie in jiu-jitsu, that you either win or learn. And that is, I think, one of the easiest ways to get better in general is to just have a focus and then having an I suck attitude, which is not a I suck, I'm discouraged. It is, I am not an expert at this. I suck at this. What little tweaks can I make to suck a little bit less? And so I think that's really important when it comes to learning jiu-jitsu, when it comes to getting better, is that mindset. So that is pretty much all I have for you guys today. I know it's a really quick episode. Really should be a suck less Saturday, but It's like a suck less midday on Tuesday because my wife's not here and I was bored and I thought I would record a podcast. And so that's a little bit too long. So we'll just keep it at suck less Saturday, I guess. Um, and so be on the lookout too next week. Uh, I'm going to have one of my buddies, Luigi, on the show. And I'll just give you a teaser. He's a former UFC fighter. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu and currently a police officer. And we actually get to kind of talking about, obviously some really funny stories, but also talking about, in his opinion, what kind of training there should be for police that a lot of places don't have. And it is a really good episode. I think you guys are really going to like it. And also, if you guys have not checked it out yet, we have our 60 moves that work when you are 60 moves and mindsets that work when you are 60 and older, filmed by my dad, who didn't get his black belt until 58 years old, who's now 60. And it is available at simplifyingjujitsu.com. It is the first thing that we have filmed in our new studio. I think you guys will really enjoy it. It is just packed full of good content. It is not just technique. It is about, I think it's like 54, 53, 52, something like that, different techniques, learning how to survive, learning how to preserve energy, conserve. I was going with conserve and preserve. I kind of mixed myself up there. But learning how to not get tired. And also, we dig into some mindsets, how to choose the right training partners, how to eat, how to lift weights, if you should lift weights, what you should be focused on, how to deal with injuries, how to deal with the biggest question that I got that people wanted me to ask him was how to deal with being slower than everybody that you're going with. And that I think was one of the probably the most helpful things for people because as you get older, as you age, you do not get faster. If you are 40, I guarantee you would agree with me. I guarantee you're not like, oh no, I'm way faster than when I was 25. So being able to handle that is something a lot of people struggle with. And so for the next 2.5 days, we are finishing out our sale on that, which is $60 for the 60 moves that work when you're 60. The name of the instructional is Train Until 60 and Beyond. And so it's a really cool video, really cool course. I think you guys will really enjoy it. And that is at simplifyingjujitsu.com. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys again for sharing this show. Please continue to share it. Please continue to ask me questions. I really enjoy that. It makes it fun for me. It keeps me interested in doing the show, knowing that you guys have things that you want answered, knowing that you guys have questions. And that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I hope you guys continue to share and continue to ask more questions. And most importantly, I hope that you guys suck just a little bit less at jiu-jitsu.